Good Monday evening. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11 Alive Weather Impact Team. Man, we had a great holiday weekend for 4th of July and the 5th and the 6th, where most of us stayed dry. There were just a few of those little isolated showers that popped up here and there, mainly over parts of North Georgia. Of course, we were dealing with heat, and the humidity levels, though, were a little bit on the lower end. And today, we got to enjoy the slightly lower relative humidity levels, but it really did get hot today. Our high temperature was in the mid-90s, and we're thinking we're going to do that again tomorrow too. But let me show you something different from today that what we're going to be dealing with tomorrow. And that's going to be the humidity levels are going to start rising, and we'll see a better chance for some of those isolated showers to pop up. And as you can see behind me here, we don't have any rain around right now. This is our live scan right now, not picking up any reflectivity at all from any showers or thunderstorms around. We had a couple of those a little bit earlier tonight and during the evening hours and late afternoon. We had a couple in northwest Georgia down to the south of us, but really over the past couple of hours, nothing has been developing out there, even though we still have a lot of heat around, but it's the humidity and the moisture content that is a little bit lower. That's why we haven't seen many of those showers developing out there at all. Live view here in the metro area. Scan is not picking up anything here around Atlanta or in the outlying areas either, so looking pretty nice there. Earlier, we did have a couple of showers down south of LaGrange. As those tried to move to the north, they fell apart. We had another one over here in Randolph County, the southern parts of Randolph County, Alabama. But again, that just kind of developed, blossomed up, and then rained itself out. And that's been the trend here if any showers have been developing. Now, we're also watching up to the north. In Tennessee, they've had a little better coverage of showers and even a few thunderstorms there. This is actually a 6-hour loop that takes us back to late in the afternoon hours where we saw some of those showers. But now that we're losing some of the heating of the day, some of those are falling apart. Still a few back there. Also into Alabama, in northwest Alabama, we had a few of those showers with some thunder and lightning, but as those try to move closer to us, they are also falling apart as well. But really, this just shows us all around the southeast, there's no real organized area of showers or storms. All of us, though, are just dealing with the heat. There is a little more humidity here back to the west of us. That's why those areas are seeing a few more of those showers. You can almost see this here with this in motion. Again, this is a 2-hour loop where we've got high pressure over us, and you can see this easterly flow here, then a southerly flow here, picking up some of that Gulf moisture, pushing it up into this direction. And we're on the drier part right here. As that high shifts a little bit more over to the east, we are then going to start picking up a little bit more of the moisture here. The humidity levels are going to start rising. So when you mix that in with the heating of the day, where again tomorrow we're expecting to get up to around 95 degrees, we'll see some of those showers and a few thunderstorms bubbling up. Again, nothing really organized, nothing really widespread, just more humidity mixing with the heat, giving us a few of those scattered or isolated showers here in the afternoon hours. Here is a live view. This is a nice view of our camera there at Truist Park, where the sun just went down at 8:51. And over to the west, that's the way this camera is looking here. Normally we would see the sun setting right about over here. And we just have a few of those clouds around, still some nice color, no rain around at all. Nice view of Truist. They've been working hard at Truist getting ready for the All-Star game coming up next week, I believe. So Monday and Tuesday is when that's all going to be going on with the home run derby and everything, I believe Monday, and then the actual game on Tuesday. Don't quote me on that, but that's when I'm doing live shots there at the game. So I'm pretty sure that's where that's going to happen. Then this is a live view right now up or down in Coweta County in Noonan. Again, hardly any clouds around at all. It is a beautiful night in Noonan, although it is still very warm. And then this is our camera that is just amazing at this time of night once the sun goes down. We always get good sunset shots here, but this is the view. The sun is already below the horizon, but still illuminating some of those clouds there on the horizon. And of course, our beautiful city here in the foreground, just looking really nice out there. But again, it is still warm. In fact, we're talking about temperatures at this hour still well into the 80s. Now, if you're looking for rain, which we are going to see, a better chance for just a few scattered showers to pop up tomorrow, we again don't think it's going to be anything like widespread organized severe weather. For tonight, we're not expecting any of that at all. And you can see that big area of a level 1 risk to the north of us, and then it goes up to a level 2 risk in parts of Kansas and into Nebraska. And then as we go a little bit closer in, you can see nothing really for us over the metro area. Tomorrow, we see a couple of areas of severe weather that we'll be watching. More of that out to the west and Midwest, where there's a level 2 risk in parts of Oklahoma and the southern parts of Kansas, and that's surrounded by the level 1 risk that crosses over the Mississippi River into parts of Tennessee and also western Kentucky. There's another level 1 risk, including parts of South Carolina, North Carolina. That changes into a level 2 risk in Virginia and into the mid-Atlantic region, where they'll see the better chance for a few more of those scattered showers and storms to develop, and again, some of those could turn severe. As we go into Wednesday, again, we have a chance for some showers here and the potential for a few isolated storms, but we still think that those would stay below severe limits. Where we do see the ingredients a little higher for a severe weather threat would be over really east of Athens along the Georgia-South Carolina line, let's say from Rabun County through parts of Habersham County, Stevens County, Franklin County, moving down toward Hart County, Elbert County, and on down toward Augusta, over into South Carolina. That's where there's a level 1 of 5 risk, meaning those areas have a little better chance for a few of those isolated stronger storms that could develop. And the main risks with that would be some pockets of heavy rain, damaging wind possible, and hail. The tornado risk with this type of setup that we have here in our area is very much on the low end. Now, here's a look at the high temperature today. We got up to 95. That's 5 degrees above the average. We should be at 90 here for this time of year. And this 75 degree reading this morning, that was our low. That's a pretty mild low temperature. We should be waking up this time of year around 72, so just a little bit above the average, but that's a mild way to start the day here. Look at that record. We were 5 degrees away from that. The record is 100. No rain in our area. And remember, after all that rain that we were dealing with last week and a couple weeks ago, we had a pretty hefty rainfall surplus of about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. Well, that's now whittling down to only a little bit less than 1/4 of an inch above where we should be in rainfall. And I do think we'll be picking up a few more showers over the next few days. But again, it's that scattered variety, so not everybody is going to be getting hit. Here's a look at how those temperatures that I just showed you timed out. We started off at 75 this morning, 7 o'clock, pretty mild there. At 8 o'clock, we were 79, 83 at 9, and just look how these temperatures were rising during the day. We had 94 at 2 and 3, then we went down to 92 at 4, 95 at 5 and 6, and then now falling just a little bit with 87 degrees for our current temperature at this hour now in the Atlanta area. And you can see that right here. But Marietta, still checking in at 90 degrees, 85 in Athens, 80 though in Peachtree City, 86 in Covington, 86 in Canton and in Gainesville too. So these temperatures still pretty warm as the sun just went down, and they'll be slow to cool during the nighttime hours too. Now we still have enough humidity to give us a little bit of a heat index, feeling like 88 here, feeling like 88 in Athens, feeling like 93 though in Marietta. And I do think the heat index tomorrow is going to be a little higher than what we had today. We were really seeing the heat index or feels like temperatures today only about 2, maybe 3 degrees higher than the actual temperature. Tomorrow, though, I think that's going to be up to making it feel like it's around 100 degrees when we get up to around 94, 95 tomorrow afternoon. And the hottest time of the day is going to be between 2 in the afternoon and 6 o'clock in the afternoon. And that's where we're going to have not only that heat, but also the humidity that's going to be building in. So be sure and take breaks. Hydrate yourself. Drink plenty of water during the day. Try to avoid prolonged exposure and prolonged exertion outside when we have temperatures and heat index levels like this. And find an air-conditioned place you can go to take breaks, just anything you can do to cool yourself down and really just help your body cool itself down so it won't overly have to produce sweat to try to cool itself down there. So here's a look at that low in the morning, 75. Still rising quickly during the day up to 95. But this is what I want to show you in the afternoon tomorrow that's a little bit different than what we had today. I do think we'll see a few more of those scattered or isolated showers that'll be popping up. The rain chance at about 30% in those afternoon hours. Excuse me, around 3, 5, 6 o'clock is when we'll see that 30% chance for those showers around. So here is the forecast track. Out there tonight, we're looking good. A couple little clouds here and there, but no rain in our area. Tomorrow morning, it's going to be a nice morning to start. You'll see some sunshine and just a couple little clouds here and there, but it's going to be a mild morning and maybe a little more muggy since that humidity level is starting to build in. And then look what happens during the day here. Around lunchtime and after, we may see just a couple of showers that are going to start developing here, maybe possibly on the east side. And then through the day, look at that heat and humidity. Remember that hottest part of the day between 2 and 6 o'clock. Humidity levels are there. It'll just kind of bubble up some of those scattered showers and a couple of thunderstorms. They rain themselves out, just kind of drift. And then during the evening hours, they fall apart when we lose some of the heating of the day. And then in the morning on your Wednesday, we start off dry again. In the afternoon, here we go, just a few more of those scattered showers that are going to start developing for those afternoon hours here on your Wednesday. And we'll see some of those scattered showers into Thursday as well. So here's a look at those rain chances. 30% chance Tuesday, 40% chance Wednesday, 50% chance Thursday and Friday. Those days we think will have the highest chance for some of those scattered showers that'll be around. And then it goes down a little bit on Saturday to 30%. What you're also going to notice, though, when I show you the temperatures, as these rain chances go up, the temperatures are going to come down because we'll have a better chance for when some of those scattered showers pop up, we'll have some rain-cooled air in our area, and that will help those temperatures come down a little bit more. In fact, you can see that here, where we're still going to be at 95 tomorrow, rain chances on the low end at 30%. Then 93 for a high on Wednesday, 91 Thursday, 89 on Friday. Again, with that little better chance for some more scattered showers around, may help to keep those temperatures down a little bit more and potentially a better coverage of clouds too, blocking out more of that sunshine. Then on Saturday, we're back up to 91 degrees as those rain chances again try to come down just a little bit more. So here's a look at your 7-day outlook. We do have temperatures up to 95 tomorrow, 30% chance for showers. Again, not a rain out, just some of those scattered showers that we're expecting in our area or really more isolated. On Wednesday, a 40% chance for showers, highs near 93, 50% chance Thursday as well as on Friday, but that's when those temperatures start to come down just a little bit more. 91 on Thursday, 89 here for your Friday. And then on Saturday and Sunday, temperatures start to come back a little bit more, 91 for a high Saturday, 93 on Sunday. We've got that 30% chance for showers on Saturday, 20% Sunday, also 20% on Monday. But the same thing happens here. Remember, as we're telling you, as the rain chances go up, the temperatures come down, and we kind of see that here. We get up to 40 to 50% chance for showers. These temperatures start trending down a little bit with 89 on Friday. Well, the same thing happens as we go into Sunday and Monday, but in the opposite way, as our rain chances come down to only 20% for Sunday and Monday, the temperatures start coming up. We'll have fewer of those showers around. Also, maybe fewer clouds around, allowing more sunshine to come in. So those temperatures are going to stay rather warm. Now remember, the average high for this time of year is 90 degrees. So we'll be 5 degrees above average Tuesday, still above average Wednesday, still a little bit above average on Thursday. Friday, if we hit 89, I know it's not a lot, but that would just be 1 degree below the average, and then back to above average temperature Saturday, Sunday, as well as on your Monday. So we're just kind of going back into that more typical summertime pattern as we have more humidity that's going to be building in, and that with that heating, that's what gives us some of those scattered showers that'll be with us. So thank you for watching this extended weather live update here on 11 Alive Plus and Weather Impact 24/7. We'll have more of these live updates throughout the day tomorrow as we're watching those temperatures rise and keeping an eye on those developing isolated thunderstorms that'll pop up in the afternoon and evening. We hope you have a great night. Thanks for watching.